Here's another quick history lesson before I actually get into this review this week. The Amityville murders took place in November 1974. Ronald DeFeo Jr. was just a little bit crazy. At first, he thought that his dog was a demon trying to go after him, so he killed it. Then he started hearing more and more voices telling him to kill his family, telling him that they were demons. So, listening to the voices, he killed them. He later told police and reporters that he was possessed, but who knows? Who knows whether you believe in that or not, but I just think he was crazy. Now let's get into this actual review, the Amityville Horror. Like last week, the film I'm going to be reviewing today is also a 70s remake. The 2005 edition is a remake of the 1979 film by the same name. That movie is a remake of the book by the same name, and all these are supposed to be true life events based on the true story of the DeFeo family and the Lutz family. I really like the way that they start this movie out. It starts out with the DeFeo killings, acted out of course, but then it's followed by the real life 911 call that was made when the bodies were discovered, and it shows real news footage from around the time of the killings, showing Ronald DeFeo Jr. and the bodies being taken out of the house, etc., stuff like that. So I really think it sets a good mood. Not a good mood, but it sets a good mood for the movie itself. I hope you get what I'm saying. It's not like, yeah, they're dead. It's just, it sets you up for the rest of the movie. It's interesting. So a year later, we meet the Lutz family. George, played by Ryan Reynolds, has recently married Kathy. Well, recently, I don't know what it's supposed to be. They don't really clarify, but it seems like it's recent. George is finally establishing a good relationship with Kathy's 3 children. Well, the 2 younger ones anyways, he's still having a little bit of trouble with the oldest one, Billy. So the family's house hunting, and after looking at dozens of houses, they finally find this great house, this great waterfront house. It's huge, and it's way below market price. It's super cheap, so they decide to check it out. All the while touring this house, they're wondering, what is the catch with this? So finally, George, being a contractor, knowing that it's below market value, he says, what's the catch? Finally, the real estate lady tells them about the murders that took place. So they're debating, they're trying to decide whether they should buy it or not. Kathy really wants to buy the house. George is kind of skeptical because it's going to be all his money, and he doesn't really know whether it'll be a wise decision to buy this house that murders took place in. But then he finally decides houses don't kill people, people kill people. So they decide to buy it. So the Lutz family decides to move into the house. Probably not their best decision, which we later find out in the film. On the very first night that they're there, George and Kathy, they're getting in the groove. They're enjoying their new bedroom, And then Ryan Reynolds sees this super creepy image. You gotta check it out. I don't want to say what it is because I want to ruin it, but it's creepy, okay? It's super creepy. Like, I've seen this movie before, and I watched it again last night to review it and stuff. Oh, it's creepy. Trust me. So after only a couple of weeks of living in the house, George is changing drastically. He's angry all the time. He's not getting much sleep. He's looking different. He's not looking well at all. He snaps at the family. And he even starts hearing the same voices that Ronald DeFeo did. Definite foreshadow. So before I keep going with this, because I'm going to be talking about some of the kids, you may actually recognize some of them. The youngest son is played by the boy from The Blind Side. The daughter is played by the girl who played Hit Girl in Kick-Ass. And the oldest, I recognize him from somewhere, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I looked at his IMDb, and nothing really seemed to stand out. But he also looks like the oldest son from Home Improvement. Maybe that has to do with it. That's probably what it is. Anyways, let's get back into this review. So the girl who plays Hit Girl in Kick-Ass actually has quite a big part in this movie. It's not the main story, but it has to do with the main story, so it's kind of like a side story a little bit, but it has to do with the main story. Do you know what I'm talking about? Probably should have articulated a little bit better in this. So she believes that she has befriended a girl that lives in her closet named Jody, the same name of the youngest daughter in the DeFeo family. Remember the girl who was murdered in the closet? So she thinks she's real. However, George and Kathy do not. They tell her that she's not real, and they just tell her it's her imagination. Following this are 28 days, counting the 2 weeks I already talked about, of are just pure hell for the Lutz family. Things get crazier. It's spooky, but of course you gotta check this out and see what happens for yourself. It's one of the only movies that I've really seen that is genuinely scary, I think. In most horror movies, the scary parts are really sporadic and they just don't happen very often. In this movie, they happen non-stop. There isn't really much downtime for the jumpy parts. They just keep coming at you over and over and over again. So if you're jumpy and you hate being startled and you hate scary movies, probably not the best movie for you, but I definitely recommend it for Halloween. There's also a lot of omniscient aspects in this film, which means that the audience knows what's going on, but the characters in the film don't. So this really creates a lot of anticipation and suspense for you. I found that the movie was really well done. It's really shot in a way that it feels like it's the 70s, the way they dress and the scenery and everything. And they even have some parts when they move into the film. They have some home video, which is taken with a 70s quality camera. So I think that kind of adds to the movie. Of course, the best thing about this movie, the scares are just awesome. This movie does a really good job of startling you and making you it's got a lot of aspects where it's like it'll creep you out, it'll scare you, it'll make you jump. Whereas some movies are just to gross you out, some movies are just to like be loud and scare you. This one doesn't. The scary parts aren't just loud. What you see is creepy and it startles you at the same time. So it's like all in one. Yes, awesome. Why did I just do that? What? If you're looking for a real scare, definitely check this one out. Forget The Omen. Forget whatever other one I reviewed this month. Check out the Amityville Horror. This one. 2005 edition. Why did I not pick this up at all while doing the review? It was right next to me. I put it there for a reason. I always forget to do something during a review. Anyways, get this DVD or watch it online. Do something. This movie is one of the best horror movies. Probably this would be my favorite horror movie of all time. I'm not huge in horror movies like Saw and stuff. Okay, I've watched them. But this one, actually, it'll scare you. It's the good scares and it's creepy. Check out the trailer as well. Unfortunately, the trailer really doesn't show how creepy the film really is. So watch the trailer, but then definitely check out the movie. Even if you aren't convinced after watching the trailer and listening to this review, definitely check it out because it is probably one of the creepiest movies I've seen. It'll actually really scare you. So check it out. And next week is Halloween week, I think. I don't know if we're just doing Halloween movies or if we can do Halloween or horror. We haven't really discussed it. Speaking of there's myself, there's Simon on Tuesday, there's Sean on Wednesday, there's no one on Friday, no one on Thursday, and there was no one on Friday, but now we got a new guy this Friday. I think he's posting this Friday. Yeah, we got a new guy, so, look forward to that. So check this movie out, the Amityville Horror.